This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, you have to start the show with some horrible news that you got yesterday, that that young boy, 4 years old, was found dead in Minnehaha Creek. That stuff those are things I never get over. I never met the kid. I don't know the kid, but a little 4-year-old boy was attracted to water, and it cost him his life. Who knows what actually happened, right?
Yeah, it's terrible news just because
it's horrible.
When Chris Egert made me be like aware of what was going on, I think everybody's first hope is always like, okay, he's probably hiding somewhere
in the house or something.
Yeah. In the house or in the woods,
Yep.
And then it's just like behind a hill, and people just haven't looked there yet, and it's terrible that it ended up the way it did, for sure.
See, I'm not a very religious person, but today I'm hoping there is a heaven and a God. That's all I have to say. That little kid, nonverbal, had some, autism, I think?
Yeah, something like that. I know for sure he was nonverbal and wandered off.
So, baby boy, like I said, if there is a heaven, I know you're in it. So today I'm hoping there is. What do you think?
Yeah,
absolutely.
The only other days I pray there's a heaven is when you guys are a pain in the ass, and I go, oh God, I hope when I die there's a heaven, because I don't have to put up with this anymore.
This can't be it.
But let me tell you, honest to God, it's one of those deals, having a couple of children myself and 3 grandchildren and all the rest of it, to look at that little baby's face. I know he's 4 years old. He wasn't a little baby, but he's still a little baby to me.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The look on his face, very cute kid, but he's got a look in his eye like, what are you looking at? I love that about that kid. My favorite. Oh God, did I get yelled at by Catherine last night?
Oh, what happened?
I was on the phone with Bernie Lowry, and we're talking about this one person's been a massive pain in the ass. Always has been.
He called me about Tevin too.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay, see, you and Bernie were on the horn about Tevin too. And I understand that I'm at the stage of my life, but I still have the same emotions, all the rest of it. So she's in like 2 rooms away. I'm talking to Bernie. I said, I got to be honest with you. If I ever run into that guy, I might knock his ass out and just pound him into the ground. And Catherine goes, ooh, tough guy. It's like, yeah, thanks, honey. You pill. No, it's just, some people are such a pain in the ass. Why do people love to be a pain in the ass? Explain that to me.
Dude, I don't know, but it's sometimes it almost feels intentional.
Oh, no question.
It's like you just woke up today and you're like, how can we just be annoying to every single person I come across today?
There's no doubt about it. And the political ads are just stuck. And you guys watch, I watch Channel 5 News in the morning. They got this one guy. I can't remember what his name is, but he's got only one leg. So, he's sitting like this with his feet out. And you can see the spike on the left leg, Oh, it's Egert. That's who it is.
I was going to say that narrows it down quite a bit.
It narrows her down quite a bit.
There's no question. Best one-legged news reporter in the history of the news.
This side of this Mississippi.
This side of the Mississippi. And so in St. Paul, he's not doing that well. Is that what you're saying?
No, not too hot over there.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. But no, I watch Channel 5 News every morning. They do a good job with it. The weather's not looking great for today and tomorrow. But they say it's going to be sunny after like about 10 a.m.
Yeah, today it's only supposed to rain through about 9:30ish, and then it's going to open up. It should get like just above 70 at some point today, I think.
That is the ticket. Of course, I have 2 events that I have to show up at tomorrow. I just found out about it. They're at the exact same time.
Oh, that's
how is that going to be possible? I think there's 1 half-hour shift, but it's about a 20-minute drive, so I don't know what that's going to do for me.
This isn't the cycling thing. That's this weekend.
No, that's this weekend.
Okay.
That's up in Itasca, too.
Gotcha.
So that's 4 hours away.
So you just show up real early for one and then real late for...
I can't. The second one I can't because it's an advertiser one, so I can't not show up for the advertisers, right? The first one is honoring a very, very good friend of mine. She's a terrific manager of a business that I work with, and she just her name, I don't even know her new name now. She got married. Her name was Kathy Penns. I know that when she was single, but she's married now, and I think her name is like Kathy Golubiowski or something like that. Some Polak name or something. Okay. I don't know what the hell it is, but no, she is, she reminds me of my mother. She's one of those women. She's a very pretty woman, but she's got this very strong edge to her, man. He's like, don't mess with me. Kathy, we love you. You know that. So yeah, I'm going to make it there tomorrow, but I might be only able to say about 15 minutes. So, but 15 minutes of me is enough anyway, don't you think?
Yeah, people have a quota, I think, where they're like,
boy, Tom's here. It's 8:06.
I was gonna say this feels like a trick question.
Kind of, yeah, right. It's a trick question. It's exactly what it is. But I would do some news right here, but all the news is very negative. Pretty much everybody but the three of us are dead. That's what it looks like in the news this morning, anyway. A lot of gunplay, a lot of this, it's just guys crossing the median, hitting people head on, and a lot of bad stuff going on. What is that all about?
I don't know, but apparently people can't drive because, as you were saying, somebody's car ended up in Minnetonka. Like, a lot of automobile accidents, which is, I feel like, unusual for this time of year because usually you think winter is when a bulk of those happen.
Yes, it seems like it. Driver dies after crossing median, crashing into parking lot in Ham Lake. I mean, there's a lot of bad news again this morning. Is there ever any good news?
I feel like we don't notice it enough.
No, and like every time we ask Chris, do you have any good news? He just starts frantically searching around his studio. Like, I don't know who curates all these stories, but work something like with bunnies and duckies in it once in a while.
I didn't know this. Minnesota being monitored for very large hail threat Wednesday. Large hail threat for tomorrow.
All right.
I remember, where the hell was I? I was out of town somewhere, staying at a hotel, and they had a big hailstorm.
Mm-hmm.
Hail the size of baseballs. Ugh. Like, good God.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. Like, getting clocked in the head with one of those as you're trying to run in from your car.
There's a car out in the parking lot here at the station we're at, and I just know that this person probably regrets it every day since the storm, but it's so clearly obvious that they got caught in a hailstorm at some point because their car looks like it went through a war zone.
You know what's funny about that? I just went for a walk like 3 days ago, and I won't say where I was because it might reveal, but there were two cars parked on the street, and both of them had severe hail damage.
Yeah, at a certain point, it's just I'm sure you come to grips with like, yep, this is how my car looks.
I guess.
Yeah, well, because if it's bad enough hail damage, like, it's so expensive
to
take it to a body shop and fix. And even if you do like the paintless dent repair where they like use their hands to feel the little dimples and pop them out with a little tool, that's still expensive. And so a lot of people, and there's people where if it is a hailstorm, they'll go to the car dealership the next day because they're like, I know I can get a hell of a deal on this, damaged vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
You think that's necessarily true? Can you get? Well, I suppose it's damaged, but you want that hideous thing?
Well, I mean, yeah, if you're trying to just get the interior is still nice, so they're like, I don't care what the outside.
You don't see that when you're driving,
right?
No, that's true. But I can't even imagine if you're out walking, if it does that kind of damage to a car, what the hell it would kill you? Probably.
Oh yeah, you definitely have to wait it out and just stay in your car.
Jesus.
Yeah, I saw a video the other day of it. I don't think it was a recent time, but this it was hailing at wherever this was taking place in like in middle America, and this guy is like on his porch with his family, and all of a sudden he sees this like bird running across his drive when it's hailing, and it looks like so he like sprints out there and he grabs it and he takes it under, and the bird is just like squawking its head off, just like and it was a weird like moment of, because I've seen these types of videos before where it's like the animal all of a sudden is like, okay, I'm going to give up all my instincts and you just pick me up.
Yep.
You do whatever you need to.
This one fought it. The largest hailstone ever was 2.25 pounds.
2.5 pounds?
Yeah. That's got to kill somebody.
Yeah.
That's, oh, God, yes.
Yep, back in 86 in Bangladesh.
What is it, the size of a basketball, for Christ's sake?
Yeah, that's huge.
I mean, it's just frozen water. It can't weigh that much, I wouldn't think.
Oh, my gosh. They said it was the size of a pumpkin.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Holy Hannah.
Yeah. Okay, maybe. Hold on. It produced the hailstorm. 92 people died in the hailstorm.
Oh, I would imagine.
So.
Where did you say, Sri Lanka or something?
Bangladesh.
Bangladesh. Was that George Harrison? Got a song about Bangladesh.
I'll take your word for it.
You wouldn't want to look it up, get off your ass, and, do some
Harrison.
Work, George Harrison, not Jay.
He's the
nice Beatle. Nice
line
Beatle. I know who was in, I know Glenn Miller was. How the hell do you not know who the Beatles are?
Yeah.
What's the matter with you?
The concert for Bangladesh.
Bangladesh.
Yeah, he did a show there in 1971.
And then released a song, I believe, about it.
Yeah, looks his song called Bangladesh.
There you go.
Two
How
words.
did he name it that? Oh, it was 2 words?
Yeah, 2 words. He's very creative.
I thought Bangladesh was a 1-word deal.
It is, but for his song, he
separated Banga and Ladesh.
Yep. So
Banga, Ladesh.
he was really into some girl named Ladesh.
That'd be great. I know her brother. Bill Ladesh, really good guy. But so Bangladesh all you want, but don't let Bill Ladesh know.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
That's what I would do if I were you.
Okay. We got to take a break here because that's what we do here. And then we come back with some sports on Yuck, right?
Right.
Well, he's got a Twins win to talk about. Oh, I actually watched the game yesterday. Do you believe it?
Twins are undefeated since unleashing the City Connect jerseys.
I forgot. Yeah, undefeated.
They didn't wear them, but hey, they're available.
They are hideous.
Yeah, I haven't met one person that said yes, this is a good idea. Everybody's like, no,
it's terrible.
keep it.
They're one of the jerseys of all time. That's for sure.
Yep.
It's like the new state flag. This is not a boat on Minnetonka. It's a state. It looks like a boat flag, doesn't it?
Yes. Yep. With some clever name on the back of the boat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
The Dutchman's Revenge.
Yep.
How about Dad's money? Put that on.
There you go. There you go.
There you go. Hi, Tom Barnard here for Livia Weight Control Centers. Now is the time to get a jump on summer. You could lose up to 20 pounds or more in your first 8 weeks to Livia Way. When you join Livia, you'll receive a personalized doctor-recommended program tailored to your unique needs, your goals, your lifestyle, the whole shooting match. Livia's amazing team of registered dietitians and nutritionists will guide you every step of the way. Join Livia today. Get your first 8 weeks free. A lot of people have been reaching out to me asking, so what's the program all about? What's the deal? So I guess I have to do a better job of explaining what it's all about. Do you think?
I don't think you need to. I think I've gotten the grasp of it. I mean, you're losing weight. You're on the right path, right?
Oh God, yeah, things are going really, really well. No doubt about it. It just, what I'm discovering now, because I've got pretty much exactly 20 pounds left to lose. I'm discovering things that I either drink or eat that make me hungry. You guys know of anything that when you drink it or eat it, it actually makes you hungrier?
Oof. I mean, yeah, there's some things. I don't know, like small snacky type things where if you're eating some Cheez-Its, you're gonna eat the whole box before you blink. Yeah,
I had a couple pieces of watermelon before I left the door today, and I was like, I want some more watermelon, that type of thing. So
very low calorie though.
Yeah, it's great.
Watermelon's good for you.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. There are certain things, like I have to really watch my what the hell is it even, caffeine intake, because I've been drinking this stuff because I found a bunch of it I didn't even know I had. If I have more than 2, I'm hungry as hell.
Yeah.
So why does caffeine do that to you? It rushes your brain or something?
Yeah, there's got to be some sort of chemical reaction in your brain that makes you want to eat.
At least it's functioning at that point, so that's good.
That's true.
Join Livia today. Get your first 8 weeks free. Visit livia.com. That's livea.com. Or call 855-GO-LIVIA. I'll be seeing them on Thursday, so if you're in the Edina office, I'll see you there. And Livy's now offering GLP-1 medications. That's one of the reasons I'm going, because I'm going up to the next step on GLP-1. Does a great job. And by the way, don't believe people say, oh, it's just horrendous. It's terrible for it. No, it's not terrible for it. I don't know who made that up. Why would they make that up?
Because you can't have nice things today, Tom.
Well, that's a good point. Very good point. Visit Livia.com or call 855-GO-LIVIA. Start your weight loss journey now and get a jump on summer the Livia way.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Go
with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
It is definitely time to think about the high taxes in Minnesota. What? Minnesota has high taxes? Who knew? Yeah, right. How much you could be saving in a Sioux Falls location. One of the first things Minnesota companies that have expanded or moved to Sioux Falls noticed are the lower tax bills. Yeah, like none. They don't have a state tax in South Dakota, do they? I'm pretty sure they don't even have a state tax. Companies don't pay corporate. Oh, yeah, here you go. Companies don't pay corporate or personal state income tax, and their other expenses are lower in Sioux Falls, too. Those business leaders started at our website, SiouxFallsDevelopment.com. That's SiouxFallsDevelopment.com, because there you'll find a lot of information like you need to make the Sioux Falls decision, that kind of deal. You'll discover just how quickly and efficiently you can get your operation started in Sioux Falls, which is a great town, by the way, too. Not only will your business be up and running sooner, you'll also be making higher profit. You make more cash, pal. What do you think of that? The National Tax Foundation's new index shows Minnesota at number 45, paying too many taxes, and South Dakota's at number 2, one of the best tax climates in the nation. 2024 is the time to make your move to Sioux Falls. Check out SiouxFallsDevelopment.com.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
And now, Judd Zulgad, or what is it? Judd Zulgad is with us, ladies and gentlemen. SKOR North. What's on your hat now? What's that?
Park Tavern.
Oh, it's Park Tavern.
My friends at Park Tavern.
We like Park Tavern.
Oh, it's a great place.
There's no doubt about it. Matter of fact, we're doing a sales thing out at Woodin Hills. I went to Woodin Hills a couple of weeks ago, and I'd never been there. My son-in-law and my daughter recommended, so we're doing a meet and greet out there. A bunch of salespeople, all that kind of stuff. Doing it tomorrow, as a matter of fact.
Very nice.
So but Park Tavern's another wonderful place. Well, that's where I first met you.
Yes, for your event, to which I have the coffee mug still. I'm drinking out of the coffee mug right now.
The event? No, but I showed up for your Viking.
Oh, that's right, for the Vikings draft party.
Of course, you never told anybody I was there. Like, you wouldn't want to introduce me to your audience. You pain in the ass. You and that Phil, what's his name? McKee, is that it?
Did I hear some confusion last segment about who George Harrison was?
Yes, James Harrison of the Beatles.
/ linebacker for the Steelers. Yeah, that's
great play in that Super Bowl against Arizona. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Would it be the greatest as he's tackling people? Isn't it a pity? Isn't it a shame?
Look, the concert for Bangladesh, one of the more famous concerts.
I would think so.
And All Things Must Pass, arguably the greatest post-Beatles album by any former Beatle right after the breakup.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, love All Things Must Pass. Just a fantastic double album.
One of the nicest men you'd ever want to meet. He was just a very sweet man.
Really?
Yep.
So who have you talked to?
Who have I talked to?
That.
Paul McCartney got pissed off at me because he was coming in to do an interview.
Yeah.
And I got a call from Catherine and said, I cannot pick up Andy today. And I looked at Paul McCartney and said, I can't do the interview. I got to go pick up my son. He goes, you're going to go pick up your son and pass on this interview? I said, I'm not passing on it, Paul. I got a job to do. I'm a father. Haven't talked to me since.
When was this?
Oh, God. Andy was in 10th grade. So you're talking 20 years ago. Well, 22 years ago.
Okay.
A long time ago.
Okay.
But Paul, I understand, is a very nice guy, too. I guess John had an edge to him, from what I understand.
Yes. But, of course, he died at 40, so he probably wouldn't have, Paul, it sounds like Paul was sort of a pain in the ass in this, or not sort of. It sounds like he was a pain in the ass in the 70s. I think he got,
Yep.
I think as you mellow, you age, and mellow a bit, you change, so.
Do you think that maybe, I've noticed this of both men and women.
Yeah.
How much they change when they meet somebody new and they have a different political perspective. All of a sudden, like I have a friend right now that's dating. I've never met her, don't know anything about her, but I guarantee you she's way far over in her political views. I'm not saying whether it's right or left, but you can tell how he's changed to kind of satisfy her needs. It's like, Tom, you got to look at I said, I've been carrying your ass for about 40 years. Don't bitch at me, asshole. What are you, nuts? If you notice that when guys meet, or a woman meets a guy, or a guy meets a woman, it changes them.
Oh yeah, well that's true for all age brackets as well. Are you telling me that you think John was influenced by Yoko?
No, hard to believe. How did that?
Are you saying that Yoko Ono influenced Lennon? I can't believe that.
Honest to God, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? See, well, and I had readily admitted I met Catherine. I was 29. She was 21. And we started dating. I became an even bigger prick. So, I've been through it myself, right?
I can't. No way. Not at that age. Yeah.
29 years old.
How many really good people are there in their 20s, do you think?
Well, let's see. I got one hand.
Like you always have moments. Like I'm willing to bet even age has some Friday nights where he gets a little bit too much to drink. And
oh, really? I'm not aware of this. Booze hound, huh?
I plead the fifth.
AJ, who every Friday night puts out that thing on X with those guys singing about the weekend. Yeah, there's no way that you're out every single Friday night, but it is impressive, AJ.
Oh no, that's it. Everybody brings a little ruckus heading into the weekend in their own way, whether that's out at the bar, double fisting some beers, or it's in the comfort of your home on the couch under a blanket watching some movie.
I got to ask you guys a question because I think there's three of you now, so I'll get it. Unless all three of you vote the same way, but I did not hang out at bars much even when I was in my 20s or whatever. I just always found that hanging out at bars led to somebody getting in an argument or a fight. And one of my favorites was at Howie's Old Bar, which became DeLisi's, which I don't know. It's at Penn and West Broadway, North Minneapolis. I don't even know if there's anything there anymore. But these two guys got in a fight at the pool table, and they grabbed one another, and they spun around the pool table the whole way. It was like a barrier for them or something. I don't know what the hell that was.
Weird.
It was fun to watch, though.
Weird. Yeah, I don't hang out at bars much now, but let's see. In my 20s, I did. In my 30s, I did. In my 40s, I did quite a bit. Yeah. I would avoid fights, but I was definitely guilty of spending too much time in bars.
One of my favorites of all time, and I really can't say where it was because it wasn't the bar's fault. Mm-hmm. It was a pretty sizable guy sitting there, and a guy nowhere near as big as he was sat next to him. And for some reason, the smaller guy said to the big guy, I suppose because you're so big, you think you're a tough guy, huh? And he goes, what? He goes, well, you must think you're a pretty tough guy being as big as you are. Are you a tough guy? And he kept saying tough guy over and over again. And so the big guy says, what is the matter with you? He goes, the matter with me? Don't be messing with me, man. You're going to be messing with dynamite. The big guy backhanded him in the face. The guy fell off the bar stool. And the big guy looked down at him on the floor and said, blow up, MFer. It was one of the great moments in a bar in my life. God, that was something. Why would you harass a gigantic drunken man?
It's always the little people that you got to look out for. They're like, you know what? That's my trophy fish. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to slay Goliath and everybody's going to carry me out of this bar on their shoulders.
Bar fights are so stupid.
Yeah.
Oh God, I hate bar fights. I just hate them. But there used to be a lot of them back in the day, back in the 60s when I turned, well, I guess it was the 70s when I turned my 20s and could go to bars legally. But you know what's weird about that? When I turned 21, I stopped smoking and drinking. Isn't that weird?
For how long?
For about 20 years.
Wow.
So I never did start smoking again, but I started drinking again when I was like, it might have been like 17 years, something like that.
Okay.
And then, 20 years after that, it was suggested to me by this redheaded woman that I know that I should probably, why don't you return to your 20s and not drink anymore? Yes, dear.
That's a really weird time to stop drinking.
I realized that if I kept drinking, smoking, I found out that I never really smoked anyway because I French inhaled, so it never got into my lungs.
Yeah.
Which is still not good for your nasal cavity, don't get me wrong, but at least it never got in my lungs. But I just realized that at 21 years old, that if I kept drinking and hanging around bars, I would never, ever succeed. Because I started working at Hubbard when I was 17 or 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I just realized that if I didn't stop, that I would never, make it big or whatever the hell I was thinking. I don't know.
Right. I mean, great call. It's just an odd age. I should say more than weird.
Yeah.
21's like ordinarily when you turn it loose.
Oh, I know. God, I used to watch that. The guy's turning it loose at 21. It's like, okay.
Yeah. But people that fight in bars should be, what a stupid thing. Why do you go to a bar looking to get in a fight? Like, what are you, or how can you handle your alcohol so poorly,
Yeah, there's no question about that. I don't like being around drunk guys. I don't like it. Never have.
I like being around drunk, fun people.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Combative, no.
I think is like more pointless than a bar fight is fighting at a sporting event.
Oh God, yes.
Good point.
When I see videos of people, one in the concourse, you're both wearing the jersey of the same team. How differing of opinions can you have? Or two, when anybody gets to a fight in the seats, first off, there's so many people around you. Two, if you are the row down, even a row down, you are at such a disadvantage.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And somebody's getting asked to just go head over heels over the railing off the 200 level down to the 100 level.
Yeah.
So what's going on?
Judd, back me up on this one. AJ, don't ever attend a sporting event in Philadelphia. That's all I'm telling you.
No, I would go painted green.
An Eagles game, yeah, for sure. That's easily.
God.
I've never been to a Sixers game. I've been to a Flyers game. I've been to a Phillies game, and they're somewhat hostile, but it's not that. But an Eagles game is dangerous.
There's no question. Well,
they're
it was
crazy.
Eagles game, ladies and gentlemen. This might have been about 30, 35, maybe even 40 years ago. They wanted to cheer the little children up at the game because Santa parachuted into the stadium and got booed by all the fans.
Yep.
They booed Santa.
They threw snowballs, right?
Yeah.
They threw snowballs at him. Yeah. They also cheered when former Cowboys receiver Michael Irvin was taken off the field on a stretcher.
Oh God.
And they weren't cheering like, hey, we're glad you're, okay, or we're glad that you're going to get, I guess, attention. They cheered because they were happy he got hurt.
He was a wonderful player.
They are the Eagles games. I've heard stories of fans going in wearing opposing gear who leave in ambulances.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah,
you don't want to wear the opposing jersey. That's not a good idea in Philadelphia.
That place is. I remember I was at the last game I covered there was the 2017 conference championship game, in which the Eagles, of course, blew the Vikings' drawers off, and I just remember the parking lot walking in. It was, and because a lot of people. Mackie and I spent the whole week telling people, if you're going, do not wear your Vikings gear. And of course, they're like, I'm going to wear my Vikings gear. I don't care. No. They're getting hit by like full beer cans.
Oh, yeah.
We're throwing batteries at them from what I heard. Like they were like, 9-volt batteries. Like, here, take this.
Batteries are a big thing there.
Ow. That would hurt.
Yeah. Yes.
I told you my first experience in Philadelphia many, many years ago. Went to a wedding, Rittenhour Square. Walking along, there's a cop leaning up against the fence. Walk by. Beautiful day, officer. Yeah, right. Like, what? Really? You were going to go, yeah, right. I mean, it's really nice out. So, I don't know. Philadelphia's got that edge. Philadelphia, do you think it's because they want to be New York, but they're not?
That's part of it, probably.
Yeah, probably.
That's part of it. Yeah, it's funny. The East Coast is, I think it's partially because it's so consolidated, so close.
Yeah.
It definitely has a competition for biggest a-hole fans and people. There's no question about it. You got your Bostonians, you've got Philadelphia. You're right about New York for sure, which probably at some point takes the cake. But yeah, it's definitely, there's a competition for who can be the biggest jerks.
But you know what makes up for it all and actually surpasses making up for it all? A Philly cheesesteak in Philadelphia. Oh my God, they're good. Unbelievable.
Philadelphia is a great town. I like
love
Philadelphia.
I do too. Yep.
I think it's a great town. And look, the East Coast, we've talked about this before. The history out there is so great because, we've torn everything, especially in Minneapolis, down.
I really wish we hadn't done that. When I was a boy, the beauty of it's still over, thank God, on some of the streets in St. Paul. They still have the old architecture there, which I just love. It's wonderful.
Yeah, St. Paul is great. St. Paul definitely has left way more and has a feel. I feel like here they, in the 60s, they raced to tear down as much as they possibly could, it felt like, and it was a real shame.
Plus, on Payne Avenue, Payne, they have a strip club called the Pain Reliever. So,
Great strip club name.
It really is, isn't it?
Yeah. Which ran ads on the queue forever, right?
I don't know anything about that. God, there used to be a lot of strip
that and Dibbo's.
Yeah, Dibbo's.
Come across a bridge to Hudson, Wisconsin tonight. Dibbo's, all you can drink and then drive home.
What was it? And the other bar was called the Rendezvous or the Renegade or some damn thing.
I remember Dibbo's, and I do remember the Pain Reliever, which was a great name.
The Pain Reliever, Payne.
Yeah, it would have been a great spot to do the SKOR North shows for Purple Daily Vikings draft party from the Pain Reliever.
What about that?
Hey, you know what? That's a great idea. That's a fantastic idea.
Works for me. I know that. All right, Pat. Oh God, you got to go, don't you? You got all the responsibilities.
Hey, Twins won. They beat the Rockies. Congratulations. The Rockies are such a pathetic excuse for a baseball team, but we won't talk about that.
Well, that's true, but I did watch the entire game because I knew the Rockies sucked.
And you know what? I am just glad that you could watch that entire game. I had to go because I still don't get the Twins on Comcast.
$100 a month it cost me. $100 a month cost me to get the Twins games.
Now you're a DirecTV guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What the hell is that now?
I have no bleeping idea. It's ridiculous.
Although 4 seats for $80,000 to watch the Timberwolves play during the playoffs was a little high too for that. That was
for you. Come on, you could have taken us.
Yeah, nice try.
We like I sat courtside.
I'm gonna pay $20,000 to watch a basketball game. No, thank you.
Sit next to A-Rod.
It'd be a nice little thank you. Tevin, AJ, Judd, your pals, courtside. I mean, just $20,000 a piece. Come on.
Yeah. That's true. One more quick question. Does Jesse ever come back to Twin Cities to go to Timberwolves games, or he's just gone now?
I don't think he comes back to go. I know he's back in town at times because I've seen photos. So he definitely comes back. I don't think he goes to Wolves games at all now. You know, that whole crew is basically gone.
Oh, are they?
There was program guy. I forget his name, but the guy that used to sit courtside and bang the program and dress like a coach.
Oh yes, yep, I know
that dude doesn't come back anymore. Jesse doesn't come back. To one of the Jimmy Jam actually came to one of the games, but when he lived here, he came all the time, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes Prince would show up with him. So yeah, there's a lot of that crew that doesn't really come to games anymore.
Well, Jack Nicholson doesn't go to the Laker games anymore either because
I don't think Jack's doing that well. Do you?
I think, mentally, I guess he's gone.
Some dementia issues.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really sad.
It's too bad.
Yeah, but he, you know what? That dude enjoyed life, so I will say that.
All right, Palomino, we'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Yes, and if the Twins don't win, we'll be very surprised because again, the Rockies suck at baseball.
Rockies are terrible.
They're just a joke.
They got Jake Cave out in the left field, though, don't they?
Say no more, my man. Say no more.
There you are.
All right, guys, talk to you.
Thanks a lot. K&L Surplus and Ammo line of Lakes, my choice for firearms and ammunition, of course. Jim, the owner, is one of the most knowledgeable people in the business and is great at getting you into the right firearm for your needs. K&L Surplus and Ammo now carries Benelli shotguns that offer enhanced performance, amazing reliability for uses ranging from waterfowl hunting to skeet shooting and your neighbor. No, it doesn't say that. I made that part up. It's waterfowl hunting, skeet shooting, and more. I highly encourage you to stop in to talk with Jim, the rest of the K&L Surplus crew. Between their superior knowledge of firearms, that is exactly the point I love getting across. You got to know somebody who knows what the hell they're talking about. Superior knowledge of firearms, friendly customer service, overall stock, fair pricing too. I can't imagine a better location to purchase your next firearm. K&L Surplus and Ammo is on Lake Drive, and Lina Lake's very easy to get to, just off the freeway. And open Tuesday through Saturday. You can reach them by phone, 763-757-2614, or you can also visit them online at www.klgunstore.com.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain, and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, well, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? You know, inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings, or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
My Pillow. What do you think of that intro? Not that much, apparently. Yeah. Okay, never mind. Michael and Della, My Pillow employees, want to thank my listeners for all your continued support. Thank you. They're having an overstock, clearance, and new product sale right now for the best prices ever when you use promo code TOM. And you get free shipping on your entire order. Yes, I said free shipping on your entire order. Get 50% off the My Pillow 2.0 plus. Get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived because they won't last long. 6-pack towel sets, only $29.98, and take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses, mattress toppers, 100% made in the USA. They're on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything's on sale, as a matter of fact. The brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels. They do actually absorb dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM. And you get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146 or go to mypillow.com and use promo code TOM.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, Channel 5's Chris Egert is brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation, 952-925-5608. So I watched the newscast this morning at, 6:30 to 7? Is that what it is?
Yeah. Well, that's one of the times we're on.
Well, I just mean there's one there, and then the guy takes over. What's his name? The guy takes over at 7.
Matt Belanger takes over.
Matt Belanger, there you go. That's exactly right. So he takes over at 7 bells. So, and I watched the whole newscast, and what's so amazing is, like, you were bitching last week about having to do this newscast, that newscast. You sit on your ass and do nothing. I mean, I was watching the whole thing. Hey, look at
Tom, it's funny you bring that up.
Okay, it's funny I bring it up. You mean like doing a podcast?
We're having some technical difficulties this morning, and if everything's running properly and everything's perfect, is it that hard to sit on a camera and read a teleprompter?
I wouldn't think so.
Well, I mean, one wouldn't think so, but how many people in their lives have actually ever read a teleprompter? I tell you, most world leaders can't read a teleprompter because those things mess up all the time. Like, there's definitely an art to reading a teleprompter.
Well, both Biden and Trump had trouble this week.
Well, any of them. And I'm not saying, like, listen, I'm not saying I'm doing rocket science or anything over here. But I will say is that, and the words that are on the screen, when people are like, oh, well, they just wrote all those words for you, right? Like, they is like 3 people in the back room, right? So,
right. And
they might be people who are new and might not know everything, or they might be a young person with not that much experience about XYZ. So before those words come up on the screen, Chris or Megan or somebody is making sure that those words are right.
Oh, really?
It doesn't just, you don't just come in and sit down and magic words appear on the screen that are written by a room full of 45 people. I'm not trying to demystify it a little bit, but I just had like a 20-minute conversation with somebody about this.
Yeah.
And there is something to it, I guess, is what I'm saying.
I thought you were about to blame like the interns in the back for like you messing up reading like the teleprompter.
No, not at all. And there's a lot of like that you have to do. And yeah. And we had like a technical meltdown at the beginning of the show today, Tom, which I don't know if you saw at 6.
No, I didn't see that.
But part of the skill in it too is like while the whole like all the technical parts not operating properly, you got to like play it off and be cool, like everything's fine when it wasn't.
Right.
So
one of my favorites.
Yeah, go ahead, Tommy.
One of my favorites of all time. There are a couple of them. First one, of course, President of the United States, President Biden said, "We need to get this done." Pause. He actually said pause.
Listen,
it's like, what?
There's a lot of that goes on.
There is. You're absolutely right.
Well, yeah, and it's not exclusive to one world leader or politician to the other. If I was a politician, I would say I don't want a teleprompter. If there's something,
probably.
If there's something that you want me to say, put it on a piece of paper, and because that's the safest. Because then you've got it right here, and you can refer to it. And when the stupid thing's not where it's supposed to be, then you at least can go down to that. But
many years ago, fly to Atlanta to do a voiceover, right? Mm-hmm. So I do all my work and I get back to the hotel that night. And there's this very pretty young woman on the news, and they were talking about some park or some area in the Atlanta area that everybody should go to. And this young woman said with a big smile on her face, "You know why I like it so much? It's so unique." She said unique.
Oh,
okay, unique. What did you leave school in 2nd grade, or what happened here?
Live TV makes for some of the greatest moments. I saw a news reporter that was out in the snow, and they're telling everybody be careful and whatever else. And there's 2 people running, and the news reporter stops them and goes, "Hey, isn't it a little dangerous to run in the snow?" And they're like, "Oh no, this is like the perfect snow for running. It's soft on your joints, blah, 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 blah." Okay, great. Thanks for coming in. Like, be safe out there. Then as they run away, like 2 steps, slip, fall, just flat on their back after they told everybody else it's super safe.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem. What the hell? So I got to bring it up, Chris. The baby boy, 4 years old, they found him. It's terrible.
And I think go ahead, Tom. What were you going to say?
It just crushes my soul. I love little kids, man, and he's so cute. That's a cute picture they put up of him.
I know. I hate social media because there were some people who were like being critical of the family, and it's like he's a 4-year-old kid. We talked about this yesterday morning. Like 4-year-olds are one of the hardest ages to watch, and the kid's nonverbal. And so I guess there was some discussion about, maybe what can be done from here to help people who might have autistic kids, to some kind of a program, like something to help the families. It was sort of a nebulous idea, but I guess they're like 180 times more prone to go to water.
Yeah, that's what I understand.
It was a weird stat that I'd never really heard before, but and some kind of way to help families who might have autistic kids, and a program that might try to help keep them away from the water. I don't know. So there was this discussion yesterday about what can be done moving forward. I don't know. Sometimes that I think is just crap. Unfortunate things happen too, and no amount of any effort would have stopped it. It was a little kid, and he slipped out, and I don't know. But the really bad thing about it is the water was the Minnehaha Creek. If this would have been a couple summers ago, it probably would have been fine. He would have been found because the water's so ridiculously high right now because we've had so much rain. And So the flow rate's been really, and we've had all kinds of like water rescues and stuff that we've been reporting over the last couple of weeks. Like the Cannon River, people are getting stuck. We just had a story yesterday about some people out in Barron County, Wisconsin, whose kayaks tipped and they got like had to hold on to a tree for dear life. And so the water's dangerous for everybody right now. So
no question, but you just mentioned one of my favorite things because he was a good friend, and then started hanging out with Gelfand, and then after that he hated me. But Steve Cannon used to claim that river was named after him.
The Cannon River?
The Cannon River. I go over there all the time. It was named after me, the Cannon River. I go, okay, Stevie. What a talent that man was. He was unbelievable.
Not familiar with him.
Oh, Steve Cannon started at Hubbard, as a matter of fact. I think he was doing the morning show. I don't remember what many, many years ago. He worked at 1500 KSTP. And then
he's a radio guy. Okay.
He did afternoons at WCCO.
Okay,
Yep.
maybe. Okay, gotcha.
He's a guy who did that guy on the side, Morgan Mundane. He calls talk to him all the time like this. It was unbelievable.
Oh, so Morgan, what do you got going on this weekend?
Let me tell you, Steve-O, it's one of those deals.
He was really good at that. I mean, he could go from person to person to person like that. It was unbelievable.
That's good. You're pretty good at that too, Tommy.
Maybe I'll do that from now on. Hey, Tevin, you're fired. What do you think?
He's like, yeah, I'm going back to bed. All right, good night.
But I'm sorry I had to bring up that situation. But
no, I'm glad you did.
That little baby. God.
And we're also covering the memorial for the Minneapolis police officer.
Yep.
That's going to be happening today. I think it starts at 11. So heads up for anybody who's out and about in the Twin Cities. 494, kind of coming down from Maple Grove through Plymouth, Minnetonka, around the corner there, and then to Eden Prairie and Edina. They're going to do the procession all the way out to the airport, like around 2:00.
Yeah.
So those roads will be closed. So just a heads up there.
Yeah, just really, really unfortunate. Again, just trying to do his job and ends up dead.
Sounds like a good dude too. That's what.
Yeah, it does. But, no question about it. Well, another brilliant report.
All right, you guys have a good rest of your day.
I was talking to Morgan.
Bye.
Talk to you later. Goodbye. Channel 5's Chris Egert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold, of course. Josh, today, you can give him a call. He's going to be on today, as a matter of fact, as you know. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation, 952-925-5608. So I suppose we better take a break here, come back, a little news and information right after this. Is that not correct?
That sounds right to me.
Judd, when you go to a restaurant.
I'm going to do that the rest of the day now. When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold's an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market, the economy. He knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh, 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments do involve risk. You know that. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser.
I've been tracking the weather in Minnesota for a long time. I'm 5 Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Ken Barlow. In the morning, I've got to be right because my forecast affects your family's entire day. And in the evening, you can count on my friend, Ren.
That's right, Ken. I'm 5 Eyewitness News evening meteorologist Ren Claire. And as a Minnesotan, I know our weather can be tricky. Throughout the day and into the night, I've got you covered with an accurate forecast to help keep your family safe and ready for any weather.
And don't forget, no matter how things change or what time of day, you'll always get our forecast first at the start of every newscast on 5 Eyewitness News. Start your day with me, Ken Barlow.
And wrap up your day with me, Ren Claire.
Because 5 Eyewitness News is always tracking our weather, so you're always alerted first. It's why 5 Eyewitness News is Minnesota's weather authority.
I'm here talking with my friends Michael Bilski and Brad Huckle of North American Banking Company. Guys, it seems like banking has changed quite a bit since you first opened your doors in 1998.
Yes and no. In 98, we didn't have online and mobile banking like we do today. Many banking processes have also changed. One thing that hasn't changed is we still provide a true community bank experience right here in the Twin Cities.
Our team takes the time to get to know our customers and their goals. This creates a relationship that is unique in banking today and one our customers appreciate. It's why we like to say we provide a better banking experience.
You're absolutely right, Brad. I've been a customer for a long time. The service your team provides is phenomenal.
Thanks, Tommy.
So why not bank with my banker, North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
You know, I got to be honest with you. You can't really, when you're talking to me about when we're back, you can't go, "You're nuts, Tom." I thought you were saying that I was crazy.
Sorry, I was pointing headphones.
Unbelievable. He's like, you're crazy.
You're losing it.
You're losing it, man. There's no question about it. All right. You happy now?
Oh, I'm ecstatic.
I'm ecstatic, as a matter of fact. No question about it. So any big news you guys are happy with? You know what? We watched episode 2 last night of The Mayor of Kingstown.
Mm-hmm.
You guys watch that show?
No, I've heard you talk a lot about it. It's like on my list. I haven't worked up the, I'm not going to say the courage, maybe the gusto to actually press play on it yet.
Mm-hmm. This will show you how severe this thing gets. They go to a prison, and a woman sneaks little balls of heroin in that are wrapped in plastic.
Mm-hmm.
She sneaks them into the jail, and then this big guy she's given them to are supposed to distribute it to everybody else.
Yep.
And they had come up with this brilliant plan that she would put the little balls of heroin into a snack she brought with her, so he would eat the snack and then poop out the heroin.
Yep.
And they could distribute it. The only problem is you put a piece of plastic that thin in your stomach with the acid, it's going to eat through it. The guy literally ended up doing like a pound of heroin. Did not live. He was vomiting this white foam. It was just like, oh my God. Yeah, it was not pleasant, but it's a really, I don't know if it's supposed to be, and I don't get pissed off at me if it's not. I think it's supposed to be Detroit. I'm not really sure, but they didn't want to, nail Detroit, so they called it Kingstown instead of Detroit. But it's Taylor Sheridan, who is one of the greatest TV writers of all time, don't you think?
Oh yeah, I mean he's especially for the current generation, he's as good as it gets.
It also looks like it's Kingstown, Michigan, so it's a fictional town, but
so Detroit.
So you're onto something there, Tommy.
No, I'm on something. I swallowed heroin balls this morning on the way in.
You had those for breakfast?
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Right next to the Cheerios.
Yeah. There's a scene though. They're looking for evidence, so one of the cops has to take a ruler and stick it in a bunch of poop in the toilet to see if there's any heroin in the poop. I'm like, oh God. I don't want this job anymore. No. I'm headed to the house.
The way you're talking, I'm slightly backing off my desire to watch this.
No, it's phenomenal.
It sounds great. And it's on Paramount Plus, which is like the one subscription service that I'm like, I don't have. And so, but this is tempting to make me want to get like a free subscription and just binge watch it in like 3 days.
Well, they come out once a week though, so you can't binge.
No, so I'll wait till the whole season.
Oh, till the whole season's there, and then watch it.
We'll just knock.
Although you could watch the first 2 seasons because they're really good too.
Yeah. The Bob Sansevier Power Watch.
Yes. Yeah. Oh God, Sansevier. Where the hell does he get the time to watch TV for like 13 hours a day? For Christ's sake.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. He has like a farm and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the horses are dying, Bob.
All these dead horses out there because he's watching television. I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it. But no, I'm telling you, there's really good acting, really good writing. The whole shoot match is just And of course, the guy was it Jeremy Renner, I think, is the star of it.
Yep. Yeah.
He's the guy that had that horrible accident, almost got killed. What happened to him again?
He ran over by like those
It's like a cat, like snowplow.
Yeah,
right.
He was on a ski hill, right? It's like the ones that like do the grooming type stuff. Yeah.
Almost died, right?
Oh yeah, it sounds like he was
probably should have
messed up beyond repair, except somehow they got him repaired, and it's been a lengthy recovery. But I think was it Kristyn that was saying, like, of all the times for that to happen, kind of right before a lot of these strikes and like COVID and everything like that, like he's had a lot of time to kind of recover, but he hasn't missed out. And I say that like very lately because there's been a lot of stuff and it's a weird situation, but he hasn't missed out on a lot of like job opportunities. He hasn't been left in the dust right now.
Yeah. As far as timing goes for a near death experience,
not bad.
Not a bad timing. Yeah.
A near death experience, ladies and gentlemen. No question about it. But yeah, if you get a chance, it's called Mayor Kingstown. It's on Paramount, as Tevin just pointed out. Really, really good. I mean, I will say it again. TV has never been better than it is right now. Is that because it's all big dollar stuff or something?
Oh, yeah. I think because obviously Netflix kind of started it, and then people realized how popular streaming could be. And they're like, well, we got to put out our own stuff. And we're kind of, I think, hopefully not going to hit that wall of where they run out of original ideas. But it seems like they just keep coming out with more and more stuff. So I'm here for it.
You're seeing a lot of big name stars, I think, too, make the jump from like only being movie stars to being in like those high budget shows where, because I'm sure, Tom, for you growing up, it was like, TV people, it was like, okay, that's cool. You're on a sitcom or whatever. Right. You see a weekly, but you're not like this like mega movie star. You're not on the silver screen or whatever. But the movie stars, they had that kind of aura about them. But nowadays, it's like you can be in Game of Thrones, you can be in Mayor of Kingston, you can be in a Mad Men or whatever, and then it's just like you're a superstar because this show is beloved by everybody.
Yep.
And to be honest with you, too, it does break my heart that it looks very much like people are just not going to go back to the movie theaters. And again, do they just not want to sit that close to other people they don't know, or what is everything just available on their television so they don't even have to leave the house?
I would say part of it for me is like, I think a lot of these movies go to streaming so quickly now, and also a lot of them don't require that like movie theater atmosphere in my mind. Like if it's a dumb rom-com or like if it's an Adam Sandler-esque type movie, I don't need to be in the giant theater to see him make a couple fart jokes and like, Adam Sandler. But like Dune 2 or 1917 or like these major motion pictures that have all this like CGI and theatrics, like it's more dramatic. That that's that movie going experience, but the problem is too the prices are sky high.
Yeah, that is a problem.
I'd be more likely to go to it just like as far as like a random movie. I'd be more likely if I was craving popcorn to go to the theater than it would like I actually want to see the movie.
For sure,
theater popcorn is it is good,
and all the butter. I don't even know if it's real butter, but just dump all of whatever that oily goodness is.
Yeah. They sprinkle those heroin balls in there.
Yeah, they just put that in there. Well, it used to be a regular occurrence when Catherine and I we're living in Golden Valley. We'd drive right out Highway 12 a little bit out there. Great Chinese restaurant. You walk across the parking lot. There's the Imagine Theater. Wasn't that back in those days, but it was. I mean, you had this great Chinese food for dinner, and then you go over and check out the movie, get a little popcorn there for dessert. It was a wonderful experience. It really was, but people just don't do that anymore, do they?
No, and the seats are a lot more comfortable now than they were.
Yeah.
Oh God. Not necessarily that stadium seating anymore. Most theaters, I would say, have at least an option at some point to have the kind of more sofa style recliner chairs and things like that. So it's a good time.
No question about it. We got to take a break. Josh Arnold will join us right after this. Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank my listeners for all your continued support. To thank you, they're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever. When you use promo code TOM, you get free shipping on your entire order. You get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets for only $29.98. And take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses and mattress toppers.
100% made in the USA, on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything is on sale, from the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM, and you can get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146. Go to mypillow.com and use promo code TOM.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they taught you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers, and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
K&L Surplus and Ammo in Atlanta Lakes is my choice for firearms and ammunition. Jim, the owner, is one of the most knowledgeable people in the business and is great at getting you into the right firearm for your needs. We've talked about that before. You need the right firearm. Jim's a guy who can get it done for you. K&L Surplus and Ammo now carries Benelli shotguns that offer enhanced performance, amazing reliability for uses ranging from waterfowl hunting to skeet shooting and more. I highly encourage you to stop in, talk with Jim and the rest of the K&L Surplus crew. Between their superior knowledge of firearms, friendly customer service, overall stock, and fair pricing, I can't imagine a better location to purchase your next firearm. K&L Surplus and Ammo is on Lake Drive in Atlanta Lakes, open Tuesday through Saturday. You can reach them by phone at 763-757-2614, or you can also visit them online at www.klgunstore.com.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Arnold joins us. What's happening, homie?
Big news.
Uh-oh.
My favorite position, my client's favorite position, actually our largest position, up big today in a down market. Up big. The Worldwide Developers Conference, which came for Apple yesterday, was seen as or at least seen yesterday as a ho-hum. No big deal. Apple didn't produce anything spectacular. Sure, they talked about generative AI, and sure, they talked about Apple integrating AI into their products, and sure, they talked about an enhanced Siri, but there was no, at least according to the talking heads yesterday and several analysts yesterday, there was nothing that really was there to get excited about. And I'm thinking, what do you mean nothing to get excited about? There was plenty to get excited about at the Worldwide Developers Conference. Plenty of new stuff that could, over time, mean you've got to upgrade your iPhone. If you want to take advantage of many of the new features, including the enhanced version of Siri, which will be able to have a conversation with you, a two-way conversation, that's going to be a big thing. Apple also announced a deal with OpenAI to integrate ChatGPT into several of Apple's new products. And I think over a period of time, this will encourage another upgrade cycle. One local analyst who has moved from more neutral position to a more positive position, Gene Munster of Deepwater Management, said that yesterday was Apple's biggest day, or I'll say biggest announcement, since the iPhone was introduced in 2007. I would tend to agree with that. I thought that was a very big announcement, and more to the point, Apple's use of generative AI as it develops over time will be more personal rather than for corporate use. So that, I believe, will encourage another upgrade cycle that could last several years, because not everybody's going to go out in September or October when Apple's new phones come out to get a new phone because of the cost, or they like the size of their phone, or maybe it's not their time to upgrade. But I believe with many of the new features and then the applications that will be developed around that, will create this new upgrade cycle, which will enhance Apple's revenues and move Apple's, we'll say, sales growth from the low single digits to the high single digits for several years. A real positive. Apple did hit a new 52-week high today, just a few cents short of 200. Big number.
Now, Elon Musk is very upset about all this. What's that all about?
Of course he's upset. His name was not included in anything. Jeez.
Okay.
If this guy's name is not mentioned every day, he's worse than me living in a diner. Every day I need attention. So, come on, guys. Elon Musk must live in a diner. He needs attention every day.
He kind of does.
If Apple does this, and this, we're not going to allow Apple devices in our plant.
Right.
Oh, grow up. Grow up, please.
Grow up. There you go.
Let's see. Hey, put some more pornography onto Twitter. You'll increase your revenues tenfold just with that, instead of some of the other nonsense that's on there. I had to turn off the Twitter feed.
Yeah.
It just produces negative.
Really?
I mean, it reinforces more and more negative stuff.
Yeah, I agree why you'd want to do that, because who needs all that negativity and this, that, and the
my
other?
goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, I realize that Twitter, kind of brings you in, sort of like Michael Corleone's speech. I was trying to get out, but they keep pulling me back,
They pull me back in. Yep.
That's what Twitter does. Stay away from that. And I don't know how you can get any, we'll call it real news off of that. But that's another issue altogether. Tomorrow,
right.
Tomorrow we have a Fed meeting, and the market is down ahead of the Fed meeting on concerns that the Fed is not going to be dropping interest rates. Well, duh. Come on, inflation numbers are still higher than what the Fed wants. Employment is a little higher than what the Fed wants, even though the employment is primarily coming from government jobs and hospitality jobs and lower wage healthcare jobs. But wages are still higher than the Fed wants. Like, that's a real problem. Yeah, wages are higher, inflation's higher. People can afford, well, maybe they can't go to McDonald's, but at least they can afford to go to Cub stores to get groceries. And you want to keep interest rates high And that's going to solve what problem? That's going to really bring down inflation? Oh, good. It's not bringing down, the price of energy has come down somewhat. So, yeah, inflation is going to come down a little bit just on that. House prices are still up. Rents are still up, but I think they're leveling off. And the thing that the Fed should be most concerned about is the economic growth rate of the country has declined. So we've gone from 3% at the end of last year down to 1.3% this year. That's pretty significant growth. So at some point, maybe not this year, but next year, you might see the Fed start to cut interest rates, and maybe the market will like that, but there could be another excuse by the overall market not to jump up. Meantime, some of the leading companies have continued their ascent, including favorite Apple, NVIDIA, and Microsoft, which have been lately the three leaders in the S&P, and of course NASDAQ to continue their ascent. Yesterday, NVIDIA split their shares 10 for 1, and an analyst from Evercore came out. I'm not sure, this sounded a little absurd, saying that at some point NVIDIA could represent 15% of the S&P. Don't think so, but also don't know. Does not make, well, I'm not going to say it doesn't make sense because they are the leader in AI right now, but I don't think so. And one last comment here, GameStop. And I know that some of you are big GameStop investors. You're following Roaring Kitty.
Roaring Kitty,
Now,
baby.
Roaring Kitty, last Thursday, I think claimed his net worth was somewhere north of 500. No, it couldn't be billion, but $500 million. It was huge based on the value of GameStop and the number of options that he held in that plus shares. Well, Friday morning, GameStop came out and said, we missed our earnings number. We missed our revenue number. It was down 29%. And oh, by the way, we're going to raise some more money. And GameStop has gone from $46 a share on Friday to $23 a share today.
Whoa.
And we're not even going to talk about where the shares were trading pre-market on Friday at $69. So for all you believers that GameStop was going to go to the moon, and let's see, 23. $23 today, $69 pre-market on Friday. I think that's a 2/3 hit to your net worth.
Yeah, that's
that would hurt.
Yep, no doubt about it.
That would hurt.
All right, I got to ask you
a lot of excitement still to come in the marketplace, but I am most excited about favorite Apple and what it's going to be doing with their products and personalizing AI for you.
I got to say that I did see the little speech that Tim Cook did for Apple.
Yes.
He's a terrible public speaker. I mean, he's like, we have some new technology that we would like to show you. It's like he was reading it off a card or something. He's not a good speaker. I was shocked by that.
It's almost like he's a robot. Maybe he's
maybe
he's AI. You never know.
Maybe.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. Here we go. All right, Palomino, I will see you on Friday.
I will look forward to it as always. Hold on here. We might see. Come on, flash over to 200 on Apple. 199.99.
Oh, it just won't.
Gee.
Just won't click for you, huh?
Won't click.
Oh well, what are you
Won't
gonna do?
click. But maybe. Hold on. Somebody out there. No, not you. Okay.
All right, pal. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye.
Bye.
We'll take a break. God, Josh, we got some hunyucks on this show, don't we?
Hold on.
Hold on.
Nope, never mind.
We will take a break. Be right back. Chris, talk about weirdos. Kristyn Burtt is up next.
When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market and the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser. I'm here talking with my friends Michael Bilski and Brad Huckle of North American Banking Company. Guys, it seems like banking has changed quite a bit since you first opened your doors in 1998.
Yes and no. In 98, we didn't have online and mobile banking like we do today. Many banking processes have also changed. One thing that hasn't changed is we still provide a true community bank experience right here in the Twin Cities.
Our team takes the time to get to know our customers and their goals. This creates a relationship that is unique in banking today and one our customers appreciate. It's why we like to say, we provide a better banking experience.
You're absolutely right, Brad. I've been a customer for a long time. The service your team provides is phenomenal.
Thanks, Tommy.
So why not bank with my banker, North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender. I hosted my show on the radio for 40 years. Now I host the Tom Barnard podcast. And I'll tell you, I've never seen the passion and engagement from our audience as I do now. I know we also have businesses that listen to our podcast, and it got me thinking. Wouldn't it be great to help those businesses grow by telling my listeners about them? So here's the deal. If you own or handle marketing for a business, would like to have my audience buy your product or service, visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and we'll put together an ad campaign to help your business. That's TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and thank you for listening.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Kristyn Burtt Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabankco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Kristyn, what's up?
Happy Tuesday. How's everyone?
Happy Tuesday. Well, they're doing pretty well, I think.
Excellent.
It was raining here. It might be gone by now. Yeah, cloud.
Sunny and 80 today, later today. It's cold right now.
There you go. Yeah, it's going to be very rainy here this week, it looks like. I don't know. A few days looking good, though. Later on today, supposed to be nice, I think. At least if I left the house. I don't know. What are you going to do? We were just talking about, once again, I mentioned, and I can't remember, is it the tattooist at Auschwitz or the Auschwitz tattooist?
I think it's the tattooist of Auschwitz.
It is?
Yes.
Okay. Great show. We also talked already about the mayor of Kingstown because episode 2 came out. God, it's really good right now. Everything is really good right now.
I know, it's enjoy all the good shows because it is slowing down when it comes to new premieres, and probably until the fall we'll have, bright spots here and there, but it's not a lot. So this is a great time. If you've got a bunch of things in your queue to kind of catch up.
Yeah, we'll get it done. But it's just, it's one thing I really like about my relationship with Catherine, because we're moving, so there's all this work going on throughout the day, and we're just busting, doing this and doing that, doing 2 shows and all the rest of it. But every night last night it was about 8:30. Usually it's around 7 o'clock. We sit down and watch television together. It's a really enjoyable time for us. Just spending the time together watching it. And Jude's there between us, of course. The dog has to sit between us. There's no question about it, right?
Pets rule the house.
They
That
do.
is the rule.
He does. There's no doubt.
My
Honest
cat
God,
rules the house.
last night I got up because I had to put a couple of things away. And Catherine, I went over and she gave me a kiss goodnight and all the rest of it. I look over and Jude hasn't moved. And I said, what is he doing? And she said, he's not going to move until you go over and pet him goodnight. He just won't move. He will not get up until I pet him goodnight. Like, you're coming over here, you're doing it whether you want to or not. Tough hop. So how about you? What's new in your life, sister?
Well, one thing I forgot to mention, last Friday, I was at the Daytime Emmys, and I just wanted to tell this little anecdote because it was so worth it. Dick Van Dyke was nominated and won for a Daytime Emmy. There's been a lot of headlines about it. He's the oldest Daytime Emmy winner ever at the age of 98.
Ooh.
But he's really incredible. And there's one thing I just want to say, that he walks with a cane. He's 98, totally understandable, but he still has a spring in his step, and he danced down the red carpet. And I just thought, that's exactly how you want to be at 98. He's sharp, he's smart, he can still move around. So just a little bit of inspiration. If you're going to be around almost 100 years, that's it. I mean, he was so excited to be at the show and be winning for Days of Our Lives, because I know Tom's about to go.
Days of Our Lives. Like Fred Sanford. Sanford loved Days of Our Lives.
But he won for guest actor, which I think is pretty incredible. But that was probably the highlight of the absolute night.
You know what you should have done? What? Because it was at the beginning of the show. Every day when it was on, he would come walking out and he would almost trip over the footstool. Remember that? He'd get to it and almost trip over. I think sometimes he did trip over it. You should have brought one along and just thrown it in the aisle when he was walking down there.
Oh, on the Dick Van Dyke Show? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
What?
I've never seen the Dick Van. Have you?
It's phenomenal.
No, I haven't seen it either.
Okay, Tevin's like, hey. I shouldn't be. I've never. I mean, I've seen it. I've known him from movies. I know him from Disney movies. That's where my education in Dick Van Dyke came from.
Mary Tyler Moore was his wife. It was a terrific show. What the hell's wrong with you people?
It was a little before.
Don't say before your time, because we all know it's available.
No
it's available for us
things.
to view. We can't use that excuse.
What's your excuse, Kristen?
I just haven't watched it. Literally just haven't come across the idea of let me watch the Dick Van Dyke Show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Huge fan of his work, though. I have interviewed him several times. He is an absolute delight. Tom, have you interviewed him before?
Yes, he's a really nice man. Really good guy.
So sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And an incredible legend, and we're lucky to have him at 98. I'll tell you that much.
8 years old. That is true. So have you guys ever watched I Love Lucy, or you never seen that either?
I think I've seen one episode. I will go home.
What?
I will go home after the show and I will watch at least one episode of the Dick Van Dyke Show, and I'll report back tomorrow.
I won't do that.
It's on Pluto TV.
My, it's good. It's funny.
Of course, I've seen I Love Lucy because I live with Ricky Ricardo, you guys.
Yeah.
I'm like, we are on our way in about 6 weeks to the Lucille Ball Comedy Festival, where my husband will be performing as Ricky Ricardo. So I will be there. And, I probably will be with you guys, but there, if that makes sense. So I'll take you guys along.
Would you have him call me, just leave a message, goes, Lucy, you can't do the show. And then hang up.
I will totally have it. He will totally do it.
Yeah, what's he doing right now? Have him come on camera and give us a little Lucy, I'm home or something.
Okay. He's not here today. He's in San Francisco, but when he is back, I will make him wake up early, because this is his midnight pretty much. And
sure. Yeah.
We have different schedules. I'm like hey, it's 5 a.m. and he is snoring away. So
Catherine, same way. Every weekend I get up 2-3 hours before she does.
I'm not a sleeper.
No,
I'm just not.
I understand. No question. Well, I got up for 37 years, I got up at 3:30 in the morning. So that was fun.
3:30 is tough, but like 5:30, I can get up super easy, no problem.
I woke up at 5:15 this morning, got up and got a bunch of stuff done. I don't mind getting up at 5:15 either. I don't care.
That's what I did. I had to finish editing an article and I was up at 5. I'm like, let me do it. My brain is sharp. Got it in. Off it goes.
Who are you ripping in the article?
I wasn't ripping anyone. It was an interview.
It was a hit piece.
I had done a video interview and we were doing an accompanying article for it. So, because we embed the video in it.
Embedded video. Now we're talking.
Embedded video. Yes. So we do articles and video interviews all at once. Amazing, right?
No question about it. There's no getting around it. I'm just floored that you guys have not gone. I went back and watched all these shows before my generation. You learn things.
I know, but are you watching all of our shows?
Like which ones?
Like if we were like, hey, have you watched, let's say, AJ's Survivor or like The Traitors for me? Or Tevin, what's your like one reality show?
Boys is coming out. Oh, I don't know about reality show. I don't get into
Boys. You like Boys a lot.
Yeah. On Thursday. Let's go. I'm excited.
Yep.
Oh my God, you people are so lame. It's unbelievable. Don't worry about it. I'm just going to mumble from the rest of the show. I'm going to mumble the whole time.
But the truth is that there's so much content out there. It's impossible to watch. It's impossible for me as an entertainment reporter, especially when I have to go and cover shows. Oftentimes it's hard for me to then watch for enjoyment because there's certain things like, this past week, I've had to do Traitors. I've had to do Below Deck Med. I've had to do the Daytime Emmys, which is again, all the 4 soaps. And now that we've added Neighbors from Australia, which is kind of adding into the mix, which is their longtime running soap. So it's one of those things, your brain starts to explode. And when I have a moment free, then I'm like, the last thing I want to do is actually look at a screen. So I just go outside.
I could see that.
And it's got to be tough too, because nowadays everybody's such a super fan of every show that they love, where if you get one little detail wrong or you kind of half-assy report, they're like, oh, she has no idea what she's talking about because she didn't know that so-and-so and so-and-so had this beef behind the scenes.
Yeah, you really can't do like the half-ass thing because you'll hear it on Twitter within a matter of 5 minutes, that type of situation. So it can be very stressful. And that's the truth too. It's why more entertainment reporters are now specializing to be TV only, film only, and music reporters have always been music only. It's too impossible to be across the board with like music, TV, film. It's because music is such a large genre.
Mm-hmm. I want you all to go back and watch some stuff from the 50s, 60s, and 70s right now. Let's go.
I'm doing it today. Downloading Pluto when I get home.
Pluto?
That's what it says it's
That's
on.
where, Pluto has all of those older shows.
Oh, do they really?
Pluto and Tubi. Tubi also might have it.
Tubi does. Yeah, that's true.
We're gonna tag team it. Tevin's gonna watch it and then tell me what I didn't know.
Oh, there's your tag team.
AJ was the Cliff Notes kid in school. Is that the truth?
Yeah,
100%.
And then I remember a very succinct memory of that my English teacher in like 7th grade was like, hey, did you read the chapter for Pride and Prejudice? I didn't make like the quiz to make sure everybody was like, yeah, of course I read it. Of course I read it.
Liar.
She goes, okay, can you make the quiz then? And she's like, don't do like the Cliff Notes like stuff because everybody's gonna know that just read it. I was like, well, between you and me, that's what you're gonna get. That's all I read too, honey.
It's kind of interesting because I just thought of something. Is there, Kristyn, you would probably know this, is there an era of television that people could not stand and just didn't want to watch TV? There had to have been some point between, because it made its debut in like, 1955 pretty much. There's stuff on the Dumont network before that, I guess, but.
Well, I would say that, I'm just trying to think, like in the 80s, I would say the sitcom was king, and probably even through the 90s, because you had, it was must-see TV on NBC. What was Friday nights on ABC? Friday nights, they had like Family Matters and everything. They called it something like, maybe it was just TGIF. I think it was TGIF is what they called it. But I'm just wondering, like when it comes to dramas through the 80s and 90s and maybe even through the early aughts, I don't necessarily think that was great television. And it was why movie stars stayed clearly on the big screen and TV stars were on the smaller screen. But in the advent of streaming and when it was unlimited budgets, that doesn't exist anymore. But I think that's why we've seen in the last 10 years, we've seen incredible television and stories that haven't been told before, stories that the studios wouldn't put on the big screen have been put on the smaller screen.
And why wouldn't they put it on the big screen, which wouldn't draw a big enough crowd?
They don't think it'd draw a big enough crowd. I mean, without streaming, I will say one of the best things that has happened is that we get more stories about where women are the central role. People over the age of 50 are in a key role. You have people from all different backgrounds and religions that stories wouldn't have been told. And I think that that is incredibly important because it wouldn't have happened because they'd be like, oh, there's not an audience there for it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's understandable. I don't know. Like I said, I like going back, going forward, all that stuff, just trying to keep my finger on the pulse. And there's never been a better time. You and I have talked about it quite a bit. The fact that programming right now is really good.
It's good. I'm curious as to what the next, because we're in this period now where the industry is contracted and the budgets are smaller and less content is coming out. It hasn't hit the screen, so we're not feeling it yet. But by 2025, we will feel it. So I'm wondering like what that looks like, what that feels like for everyone.
So what do you think will happen?
I will tell you that I think that there's still going to be quality, but I think that there's going to be less quantity for us to sort of sort through to find those good series. So in some ways, I think that is really good, but I don't think we're going to have, we've had some weeks where you're like, oh my gosh, there are 4 new shows. I cannot wait to see them. They all come out this week. Those days are over. Those are gone.
Are shows still driven by movies? I do remember back in the day, 1971, I think it was, The Godfather came out. All of a sudden, every other show on TV had mafia members in it. I mean, a huge movie like that would drive television. Does that still happen?
Oftentimes TV drives TV. You'll see like we want the next Friends. When Friends came out, all of a sudden there were a bunch of ensemble comedies because everyone wanted that next series. That still happens. And we do see it, maybe not as frequently, but I think that sometimes I think a show like Hacks might inspire more shows about women over the age of 60, which sounds crazy, but we may see that because that's been such a monster hit for HBO. Right. So it's one of those situations where you just see people go, oh, well, actually, there is an audience for this. We didn't know. You did know. You just didn't bother to invest the money. And it's why if you listen to John Leguizamo, he's been screaming. He's like, your biggest movie going audience is male Latinos. Why aren't you putting more stories out? Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Is there a reasoning why behind that? Or is there like a study that's been done where there's kind of canvassing?
They're just avid moviegoers, but that's the actual thing is like, why aren't you driving more stories about the Latino community? There are tons of stories to tell, but why is Hollywood just doing like this big, like generic, like sweep or even just saying, there's a lot of like hot takes this week about Bad Boys 4 and like, oh my gosh, a movie starring 2 Black men did really well. We thought it was going to underperform and it overperformed. I'm like, this is Will Smith. And despite his controversy of the last 2 years, this is a proven franchise. We knew that the audiences were going to show up. And I believe it was a smart move on Will Smith's part, PR wise, to start with this film as his comeback because the door's open and people are like, okay, we've talked about it enough. Let's go. But again, it's proving you're missing the mark with the audiences. We saw this last summer with Barbenheimer. People will show up. Great stories, interesting marketing with Barbie. You're missing the mark if you're not making these stories.
All right, sister. Another great report. You fired up about tomorrow?
Yeah, I think we should talk about J-Lo.
Really? Yeah. What, her 85th divorce or something?
Well, not even her career though. This is like the pile-on of J-Lo is happy. Yeah, it's happening, and it's amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it's kind of a multi-layered thing. But I mean, the divorce is only that's almost a distraction to actually what's happening with her career.
So is she just going to disappear? What the hell is going to go on?
I don't know if JLo wants to disappear. That's the other issue.
Well, that's probably true too.
All right. Well, we'll unpack it tomorrow because I think that there's multi-layers, and I'd love to hear Tevin and AJ's generational response to it. Because
All right.
I do think that this is a generational situation too.
Looking forward to it, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
See y'all tomorrow. Have a good one.
You too. Thank you. Kristyn Burtt Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabankco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. That is going to do it for today's show. We'll be back with the family in about 15 minutes.